attract people to your brand. Hi everyone, welcome back for today's lesson. Define your brand story. I'm Jodi Jones, a New York City fashion photographer and creative director with over 20 years of experience working with brands on their marketing strategies. This series' aims are to give influencers, creatives, and entrepreneurs a set of tools to attract the right people to their brand the right way. By the end of today's lesson, you will have learned everything you need to start working on and perfecting your company's brand story. Every successful brand has had to continually change over time to stay relevant and engage customers, your clients, and prospects. It stands to reason, then, that if each generation of culture has a slightly different set of values and beliefs, that the way you approach marketing has to change too, right? There has been an enormous shift over the last decade or so away from the concept of deploying the hard sell and value for money, and more towards building trust in your brand and forming a community of consumers. The modern consumer doesn't want to just be sold to or force-fed facts and figures. They want to connect to a brand, form a relationship of trust, and be part of a wider community of like-minded people. Just think of the cult following that Apple has. Consumers are proud to support the brands they believe in. The science behind it all. The human mind is amazingly complex, but at the same time, also incredibly simple. The brain is actually hardwired to stop and listen to a good story. After all, up until very recently, every bit of human history, acquired skill, practiced religion, and learned knowledge were passed down from generation to generation by word of mouth. It's in our DNA. As a species, we are enthralled by an engaging story. Our brains seek out the wisdom and knowledge from our elders so that the younger generation can thrive and improve humanity as a whole. Remember that complex mind? Easily programmable if you have the know-how. If you want to create a lasting and memorable connection, work on your brand story. Get your priorities straight. The modern consumer and client will happily do their own research. So as long as what you do and how you do it is readily available online, it doesn't need to be featured in your story. Just focus on the why and not the what or how. Digital marketing is a fiercely contested area, and realistically, you only get a few seconds to engage interest. You need to pique their curiosity by explaining why you are in business, what's in it for them if they choose you over someone else, and how you are going to help them solve their particular issue. If you answer these 3 questions, the product or service will sell itself. Growth through adversity. You've climbed a mountain. Show the beautiful journey, not only the summit. Don't be afraid to show where you've come from, bruises and all. Full transparency is the key here, and people will respond better to your story if you are authentic and not scared to show where you went wrong and how you failed. It all paints a colorful picture of the history of your company from starting out right up until now. People need to see the evidence that you have overcome hurdles, not that you just won the lotto, so they can build faith and trust in your company to help them overcome the same hurdles in their life. No one wants to see a highlighted reel of success after success. They need to see the bigger picture, the good as well as the real. The world loves an underdog. Just be sure to be open and honest and truthful when sharing your company's history and where you've come from. Be solutions-oriented. The truth is that there are hundreds of companies out there that are offering similar goods and services. What makes you stand out from the crowd? Why should someone choose your company to work with? The central core value of your brand should be your commitment to your clients' needs, and this must shine through in your brand story. You must show how your company is the one that is best equipped to solve their problems. Trust is earned. Buyers will make the decision to work with you and give the green light based on your story, not just what you sell. It's important to engage with your client base as much and often as possible. Show you care by interacting with followers on social media. Respond to their inquiries and questions, and take part in discussions with them. If you want someone to take an interest in your company, then you as a company must take interest in them too. It's a two-way street, and your corporate entity needs a human face. Trust is built and earned over time, and the modern consumer is less focused on the product or service, but more focused on the overall customer experience. Clients, leads, consumers, they all need to feel that both their businesses and them as an individual are valued by your company and are cherished. Studies show that the customer experience is the main driving factor when turning a single purchase into a regular customer with a lasting business relationship. Repeat business is the name of the game here. To briefly recap what we've covered, here are a few key points to remember from today's lesson. Focus on what you can do for the customer, not what you sell. Be open, honest, and truthful when sharing your company's history and where you've come from. Be solutions-oriented. Build trust with your customer base. Now, this week's task. Review your brand story. Show where your company has come from and how you've grown. Explain why you're in business, what you can do for your customer, and how you can help them solve their issues. Build trust by engaging with your consumers across all social media platforms. The team here at Jodi Jones Studio really hope that today's lesson has given you the motivation to update the brand story of your business.